Hey there. So this video I am going to title Sex When to Have It. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, that means you're watching the replay. Please comment replay. I love seeing those of you who are watching on the replay. Those of you watching me on Instagram, you're watching this live, drop your city and state and I will shout you out. I will take about 2 minutes to let everybody come in. So if you are watching on the replay, fast forward 2 minutes or so and we will get started. This is a conversation for all women to hear. Gentlemen, stick around if you want to eavesdrop and co-sign, but this is for the ladies. I'm fired up, y'all. I'm fired up. Just got a comment and it's got me fired up. And so this is an excellent teaching opportunity. We have Lucky Maria tuning in from Atlanta. Hey, which reminds me, I'm coming to Atlanta the last week of June. So if you would like to come to my pop-up event, I'm doing a live speaking engagement. Make sure you guys click on the story highlight. So it's no longer in my story, it's expired, but it's in the highlight in my Instagram. So check it out, check it out. He said, what about the guys? So this live, you guys can listen, but it's for the ladies. This one is for the ladies. This is giving game to the ladies, okay? You guys, the men will learn something too if you guys want to stick around, but my focus is on the women. I'll leave some crumbs for the men. Okay, guys, so we have one person tap in. Drop your city and state real quick. Let's fill this up, get the engagement going. This pushes it out to more people. It notifies people. So you guys on the live stream, the replay, you guys are lucky if you just fast forward 30 seconds, but let's get about 30 more seconds, get everybody in here. This title is Sex When to Have It. Let's talk about sex, baby. We got another ATL in the house. Okay, y'all fired up. I got a comment that I'm responding to. I am going to read this comment. Stockton, California. Hey, Callie in the house. Chicago, Illinois. Woo woo. Used to live outside Chicago. And oh man, I feel ignorant. I don't know what CLE is. And I'm not going to show my ignorance by guessing. Okay, what is Jax? Marietta, Georgia. Y'all with these acronyms. I don't know the acronyms. I'm like, are they airport codes? I'm just kidding. Okay. So, hi there. My name is Yancy. Welcome to my channel, Chasing Yancy. Today we're going to be talking about sex. There are so many messages that we are bombarded with and everyone is all over the place. And so I'm going to, I was going to say give it to you raw, but now that just sounds wrong considering the title. I am going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give you the information that you need to have. Okay? Now, one of the things is, oh, he's so sweet. He said, YouTube or stay on IG. Thank you for asking that because Monday night I go live on YouTube, but for now I'm doing Instagram. And so if you're watching on Instagram, it's only happening here and then I will post it on YouTube, okay? I really should have both going at the same time, but I just been lazy. Okay, so anyway, this is what I want you guys to understand. As a content creator, when I first started making content, I was giving information and I was breaking the rules of content creation. Thank you. Oh, I didn't even think I could get badges anymore. They took it away from me yesterday. So that's awesome that I still have them. Thank you, Yogi Life. You are always my resident badge purchaser. Thank you. You guys, thank you. You don't realize how much that means. But when I was doing content, there's one of these rules in content creation. They say, you got to know the person you're speaking to. If you know the person you're speaking to, you're going to just hit the nail every single time. You're going to, that message is just going to hit home. And the people listening are going to go, oh my God, it's like, you know me because you're speaking to that person. Well, I have a different reason for wanting to speak to, I have a different reason for wanting to know who my audience is because not everybody is on the same page. So I'm going to start out. This is part of my discussion. So don't get lost. This is my preamble. But part of the issue with making content is that I understand that there are two camps. There are the camp of people who are all about self. Their God is self. They worship at the temple of self. And the mantra, if it feels good, do it. If it makes you happy. Okay, that could be the theme song to that church. It's the church of self. Whatever I want, whatever gratifies me, sign me up. That's the first group. The second group is people who serve someone greater than self. They serve God. Okay, as you can see, the numbers are already going down, y'all. It's a less popular church. It's a less popular church. But these are people who say, you know what? I think there's something out there that's bigger than me. And I'm not so arrogant to think that I know everything. And if there is someone out there who is bigger, stronger, wiser, it behooves me to learn about him so that I can have the best life possible. Okay? That second group of people is the people that I want to talk to. So if you serve self, if your whole mission in life is to make your life the cushiest, coziest, most comfortable life, and you want to tickle your fancy, you want to get off every chance you get, then you want to get off this life, because this is not going to be for you. But if you're one of the people who recognize, I don't think we just magically appeared in the universe. I don't think that we evolved from nothing into just magically something. And if you're the type of person who realizes there are consequences for every action, you're in the right place. All right. So now that we've cleared the audience, we've made room for the people who need to be here. Now we can get into it. Okay. I did a post this week. It's a two-parter. Part 2 just dropped today. So if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch it later. But it's the cheek clapping carousel. Okay. It says, if we are grown, what's the harm in getting the cheeks clapped, early on in the dating phase? And now I'm going to let you know, this is a recycled post. I posted it months ago before I began to be more bold with my message. And so I would have, if I wasn't being lazy, I would have rewritten it and punched it up to really make it even more truthful, because before I was about trying to appeal to everyone, which is the rule you don't do. You don't do that for a content creator, because I wanted to reach everyone. I didn't want to turn anybody off. But now I don't care. I want to talk to my people who really need to hear this. He said, I'm an atheist and a scientist, and I still love your content. I love that. Okay. So here's what I would have said. Instead of holding off on sex until a certain point in the relationship, I would have said, don't have sex if you're not married. And I'm going to read a comment, and I'm going to explain. This is the comment that made me want to jump on this live stream. Okay. I'm going to read this, and I quote. My thespian voice. This is a guy, so I gotta get my guy voice. You can hold out, but usually during this phase, it's the phase where the woman's not giving it up, okay? But usually during this phase, we are still having sex with the other one. All right, that was me adding the until you decide to open the gates of love. Insert laughing emoji, okay? So one more time for those who didn't hear it. This is, and I quote, a comment under the post from a gentleman. I say loosely, gentleman. You can hold out, but usually during this phase, we are still having sex with the other one until you decide to open the gates of love. Insert laughing, crying emoji. So ladies and gentlemen, let's break this comment down. What is it saying? I love the truth. I love the transparency, because you guys, I don't make this stuff up. I don't go into a magical fairyland of my imagination and dream up of content. I actually pay attention to what actual men do. I look at good behavior, I look at bad behavior, and I tell the women, this is what you want to avoid like the plague, okay? So I don't want to scare people off from making honest comments, because we need these honest comments to be able to know how to maneuver, okay? So he said it's an honest comment. It absolutely is an extremely honest comment, okay? Now, it helps because I am like the shepherd protecting the sheep, and I got to know about the foxes and the wolves, okay? So the wolf left the comment. So little sheep, come on in here, okay? Listen up, little sheep. What he's saying is that I am in need of sex. I'm interested in you. probably just for sex, but I am interested. Something about you is interesting. I'm keeping you around. I'm talking to you, but I need sex. So if I'm not getting sex from you, I'm resourceful. I'm going to find sex. And I don't know if I'm cheating on you or not, but I'm getting my sex. We didn't say if we're together or not, but all I know as the wolf, I'm getting my sex. So if you're one of those girls who, she has a 90-day rule or she has a whatever rule, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. Because during this time that you think I have devotion towards you and I'm growing attachment to you, I'm busting it down over here. Oh, that's so cute. You thought, you were going to wait a cute little 3 months. You're going to wait a cute little 6 months. So do you see how that's not a foolproof plan, ladies? Do you see? You are over here practicing abstinence. Meanwhile, dude is racking up the miles, the frequent flyer miles, okay? So what's the lesson here? Well, just do it anyway? No. That's not the lesson. The lesson is to understand there are 2 types of men in this world. Are you guys listening? Let me know if you're listening, if you're hearing me really good. The wolf, you never can deal with the wolf. Why? Because he is controlled by his lust. Lust is a biblical fancy word for horniness. Okay? When you are controlled by your lust, you're not a masculine man. You're not a divine masculine man. Because a divine masculine man says, I hear you yelling, buddy, but you're not making choices for me. Okay? A divine masculine man says, what is the goal? What is the goal? What are we striving after? And is this getting me closer to the goal or detracting from it? Closer, detracting, closer. Oh, it's not getting us closer. Oh, nope, then we're not doing it. A divine masculine man, a man with divine masculine energy says, just because it feels good doesn't mean I need to do it. I love soda, specifically Mountain Dew, but I have a goal. I have a goal of being snatched. I have a goal of being healthy and not having diabetes when I'm a little bit older. Well, I guess you could have diabetes when you're younger. So guess what I'm doing? I'm drinking water. Do I love water? No, don't love water. But I know I need to drink a lot of water if I want my skin. I'm 42 and I think my skin is pretty nice. Okay. I know that if I don't want pimples and dry skin, I have to drink water. You guys are always seeing me drinking my water on my live streams, right? Plus I gotta wet my whistle. So I have to be able to control myself. Okay? I have long hair. So guess what I have to do? I have to take care of my hair. I have to brush it. Every 6 weeks I have to trim it. I went to YouTube University. Yes, I trim my own hair. Okay? But I have to do the work. Why? Because I don't want to come on here with my hair, tied up in a bonnet or whatever. I have to actually take care of myself. We cannot, as adults, well, kids too, we cannot be driven by our every whim. My every whim says eat pizza all day, burgers all day. I'm going to be the size of a house if I keep doing that. So this culture that we live in does not shame men and women who are driven by their lusts. Instead, it celebrates them and says, yeah, you're free. Ladies, you're free. Oh, those shackles. Those shackles of abstinence. You are free now. You are liberated. That's the wording that the media says. The mainstream media, the Matrix, okay? And what do they say about men? Oh, you're a real man. You're a real man because you can bust down walls. How does that make me a real man? How does that make you a real man? You naturally get aroused, so there's nothing you had to do to earn that arousal. God gave you the ability to get aroused, and people are easily having sex these days. So unless you're just socially awkward, thank you. Unless you're super socially awkward or you're just really unattractive, it's not hard to get sex. And to people still having sex. So where is this merit? Where is this wow factor that allowed you to lose your virginity and continue to have sex? There's nothing manly about having sex. So all this stuff that the world is telling you, it is propaganda, because the person, the entity, it's not a human, but the entity behind this world, because there is a ruler of this world, he has a plan for you, and part of his plan for you does not include success. His plan does not include joy. His plan for you does not include peace. If you guys watch that movie, Pinocchio, there's the land of the lost boys. What did it look like? It looked glamorous. As they rode up to that little island, you hear the music going, and they're drinking beer, and they're dancing, and woohoo! It looked great. But after a while, when you've been there a while, and you start seeing what's happening behind the scenes, you're like, oh snap. Maybe it wasn't so bad with Geppetto, where he had rules and regulations. All that glitters is not gold. So before I get too far on a tangent, y'all, this whole thing about sex is glamorous, having sex with multiple people is glamorous. There are so many men who are depressed, addicted to pornography. They are not where they want to be in life. Why? Because they have not mastered the basics of true masculinity. Masculine energy is all about setting your, first having the vision. You got to have the vision, right? Because you don't, where am I going to look? Now that I have the vision, I lock in on that vision and I don't detour from that. This is where I'm going. I got my eye on the prize and I'm going after it. It means you're not spending all this excess time with women. You are not frivolously spending your money. You are not sitting around eating whatever you want to eat. You're in the gym. You are going after your prize and you are focused. So men, I told you I'm going to leave you a little couple nuggets along the way. Do not get it twisted and think that you're winning because you are out here bagging chicks. I'm sorry, but men, how expensive is dating? Super expensive, right? You're spending $1,000 a month on women for what? You don't even have a woman cooking and cleaning for you. Yeah, I said it. I mean, at least if you're going to be spending money on a woman, have it be a wife. She's making you babies. She's making you dinner. She's doing other things, okay? But you're just out here spending. And yes, for those of you asking about saving the life, this will be available on YouTube, okay? So I got fired up. Let me get back to the ladies. I said this is for the ladies. Ladies. So that is one man, okay? That one guy is the guy who is literally controlled by his member. But think about this. If he's controlled by his member, what do you think is going to happen when you're together? I'll wait. You think he's just going to magically wake up and go, oh, you're my girlfriend now. Oh, I'm not controlled by my member anymore. Logically, think about that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he's controlled by his member. Saturday, you decide he's going to be your boyfriend and you're going to be his girlfriend. You think Saturday now, suddenly he has D control? It's a deeper issue than being horny. It's a deeper issue. He does not have self-control. And I get the guys who say, I have self-control. I don't sleep with every single woman I meet. That's having selectiveness, okay? That's saying like you have preferences. That does not mean you have control. Self-control says, I do not have sex. Period. And why? Let's take the spiritual side out of it. Let's take the spiritual side out. Let's say you don't even believe in God, so you don't think that there are spiritual ramifications. Okay, fine. Just for a moment, let's entertain me, okay? Let me entertain this idea. STDs. It's chemically proven that women get attached to you when they have sex. So now you got some woman just on your jock. Unwed children born out of wedlock. I just gave you 3 things that are a reason to avoid having sex. How many people said, oh my God, I wish I'd never had this baby mama in my life? You got the baby mama from hell. Okay? And then if she does get pregnant, like, yeah, but we can abort. But really, that's what we're going to do? We're just going to take a life that didn't ask to be here to be. You're just going to take a life and we're just going to have blood on our hands? That's not even an option. I'm keeping it 100. I have nothing to lose. Okay? They shut me down, I'm going to pop up on another platform, okay? That's why I say get on my email list, because I'm saying stuff that will get me cut off social media. We need to start to have self-control. And the reason these people do not have self-control is because they do not have the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit gives us self-control. The Bible says, God says, I haven't given you a spirit of fear. I've given you a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. Loving, we're loving with one another. Power, ain't nothing I can't do in his name. Sound mind, you're able to function. You don't have anxiety, you don't have depression, you don't have mental issues. You're psychologically sound. You have wisdom. You meet someone and in 5 minutes you're like, red flag, I'm out. And I have the self-discipline to stay away. You're not bamboozled. You're not that guy who takes 8 months and 2 babies. Well, that wouldn't be 2 babies. 8 years and 2 babies later to realize that she's a hot mess. You have discernment. You have wisdom. You have understanding beyond your years. It is a gift of God. Let's cut this crap that being a believer in Jesus Christ is about being this arrogant, judgmental, I don't have any fun. That's not what being a believer is about. Being a believer in Jesus Christ is about living an abundant life. I can hear the bull crap that mainstream media spews at me like vomit, and I'm actually repulsed because I can actually smell what it really smells like. Everyone else gets that same vomit spewed at them, and they feel like it's champagne bottles, and they're like, yay, basking in it. Somebody who has ears that have been cleaned out by the word of God, eyes that have been cleared out by the word of God, we smell the bull crap. So while everyone else is walking around in this, it's like they went on a farm, they just walked through the, you know what's on the floor. Oh, they just walking through it. We actually know it's bull crap on our feet, and we're like, oh, and we're doing everything we can to clean ourselves off. Okay, I know I have to walk through this, but let me get over here where it's clean. That's the difference. Not only are these people not aware it's bullcrap, they are loving it. They're rolling around in it, rubbing it on their faces. Oh, yeah, getting it in their hair. And they're going, doesn't it smell good? Oh, yeah, it does. And you're like, no, it doesn't. Okay, but do you, honey? Ooh. So ladies, I promise I haven't lost my point, okay? Ladies, when you recognize that there is a man who does not understand he's being controlled by his sexual urges, politely walk away. Walk away. Because a man who cannot control himself is never going to be able to lead you. Because being a leader means I lead myself first. There shouldn't even be the term leading by example, because that's the only way to lead. If you are leading, that means you're doing it. I always use this example. Back in the day in the military, the military leaders literally led their people into war. He was on the front lines. They were going, come on, you can't do this if they're in front of you. Who's seeing you? Who's seeing you do this gesture? You're going, come on, because you're in the front. So men, if you can't even control yourself, how the heck do you expect a woman to follow you? She will follow you off the cliff because that's where you're headed. So ladies, this abstinence thing is not a game. As I read this, I'm going to read this comment again for people who just came on. This is the comment that sparked this whole live stream. You can hold out, he said, but usually during this phase, the holding out phase, we men who do not have self-control are still having sex with the other one until you decide to open the gates of love. It doesn't get any clearer than that. As a woman, this is not a game. Men who cannot control their sexual urges look at this and say it's a game. She's playing a game so she can get the ring. I'm being manipulated. She's playing a game. No. She is wired by God himself to want love and honor and protection. She is wired that way. That's like somebody saying the baby that's crying, oh, it's a game. He just wants to manipulate me into picking him up. No, the baby needs to be held. He doesn't know what else to do other than cry because that's what gets him held. He needs to be held. The same way you need to be followed, submitted to, and respected, the woman needs to be loved. So a woman, if she is not honored, if she is not adored, if she is not protected, if she is not loved, it breaks her in her soul. This is not a flippant game. This is not a card that she's playing. That's like saying me asking for food is oh, you pulled the hunger card. Is it a card? Is it a card? If I'm going to die without it, you call it a card, I call it survival. Men and women are designed to be together. And let me say this too, because everyone wants to do this, woe is me, women are horrible, men are horrible, women are horrible. Chicken and egg. Chicken and egg. When someone gets hurt people, right? When someone gets hurt, they say, man's logic, not God's logic, man's logic says, if I never put myself in a vulnerable position again, I can never get hurt. That's man's logic. And it sounds logical, okay? But the problem is that it has a ripple effect. So me trying to protect myself, I am now going to harm the next person. Imagine me putting on spikes, like if a human could put thorns on, right? If I could put a thorn suit on. Now these spikes keep me from getting hurt, because no one can get close enough to me, but everyone who embraces or tries to embrace me gets stabbed with the spikes, right? Can you picture that metaphor? So I should be a rose, but I put on these thorns to keep away people who could possibly hurt me. But guess what? Innocent people are coming to embrace you and they're getting impaled by your spikes. So you saying, I'm just protecting myself, no, what you're doing is you're infecting the next circle of people. And everyone has a ring of people in their sphere. In marketing, they call it your sphere of influence. You have your dating sphere of influence, and now you've infected these people with your filth. It's sad, but it's filthy. All your pain has now infected this group. Now they're on fire, they're bleeding out profusely, and they're saying, oh my God, I don't want to ever feel this again, because now they just popped my pain cherry. Well, I don't want to feel this again, so let me put my spikes on. So now they put their spikes on. Now they're like a porcupine. And now their next layer of people that they come in contact with, now they infect them. Now this next layer is bleeding. And the next layer is bleeding. And we look down in the dating pool and I don't see pee, I see blood. I see blood. This dating pool is filled with blood. It's the blood of pain. And I used to see the men who were, F-boys as being evil. I see men who are in pain because they crave the love of a woman, but they don't know how to get it. So they settle for a little moment of happiness, little stimulation. That little couple seconds, okay, I'm trying to think of a politically correct, right? That little release, couple seconds of release, that is nothing compared to the love of a woman. You think you're getting something because you had a little, I dare you to see what it feels like to have a loyal woman who cares for you. She makes your cold, dry house a home. You come in and every time there's like 4 extra rolls of toilet paper. You come in, you don't know what you want to eat, and there's a whole thing in the fridge, just foil line on it. A little note says, baby, I knew you probably wouldn't get yourself something to eat, so I left you something. The woman who says, oh, I found this cologne and I know it smells so good on you. Or, you know what, I noticed you didn't have any more socks. You had no more socks. I just went out and got you some more socks. The woman who anticipates your need, the woman who sees herself as an extension of you and never shames you in public. She respects you in public and in private. When she sees you taking an L, she doesn't talk about it. Look at the L, look at the L, rub your nose in it. She acts like she doesn't see it. And she says, we all learn through experience. So my baby got experience. She doesn't need to go, I told you to go left, but no, you ain't right. If you've ever experienced a woman, thank you, Demario, or Demario, I'm saying your name correctly. If you've ever experienced the love and support of a woman, you will never settle for a couple moments of release. These men who are out here hitting it and quitting it are looking for love. And in this moment, I'm not trying to be graphic, but in this moment, they feel love in that moment. In that moment, they feel love. But they have to come back out, right? You can't just hang out in that love pocket. Look what he said, the gates of love. Look at that proverbial. He said, until you decide to open the gates of love. Y'all, I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. Why do you think when you consecrate a marriage, you enter into her? Because it bonds you together. And that is a place where the man feels loved. It is a proverbial, metaphorical demonstration. You are entering into a sacred place of love. And when you penetrate that place of love, you evoke something in her. And she clings to you for life. This is science, you guys. It just backs up the Bible. But science says a chemical is released when a woman has sex with a man. She bonds to him. When a woman gives birth to a baby, she bonds to that baby. And actually, I think it's before she gives birth, because when a woman miscarries, she goes into depression a lot of times, because even though to someone else it's just pee on a stick, it is a child, a life in her. So even if she never lays eyes on the fetus, even if that fetus never developed hands and feet, that woman bonds to that baby, because that's the way our Creator made us to be, so that we have the capacity to love in the level that we're supposed to be. So you are coming in, you are turning that signal on for that woman and leaving. Thanks, got what I needed. I got my 3 seconds of love. Then that woman is on. She's on to you. Now that same woman, you meet that other woman down the road. She's had so many men turn her light on, her love light on. She's on, but you don't want her because she's connected to all these other men. But you weren't thinking about that when you were turning her light on. You're like, that's just a random. That's just a random. No, that's not a random. She has a name. She is someone's child. She is going to be someone's mother one day. She's someone's sister, someone's cousin. She cries herself to sleep at night because she thought, because nobody was there to teach her, she thought that when you came in and turned her love on, you were going to be there to receive her love and give it back to her. She thought wrong, because all you were looking for was a couple seconds of pleasure. Ladies, you need to understand that men follow our lead. Yes, men are the leaders. But if someone is not going to lead, you got to step up. If they are not going to protect you, you have to protect yourself. If they're not going to cherish your virginity, you got to cherish it yourself. If they don't have the self-control to say no, you got to say no. Well, why do we have to do it? Who else is going to do it? If my front door is not working, if my front door is off the hinges, if my front door's lock is broken, I'm not going to sit there and cry about the fact that the lock isn't doing its job. I'm going to find a lock. I'm going to find, if I have to barricade myself, I'm going to find a way to protect it. I'm not going to spend my energy wondering why the lock isn't doing its job. I would wish it would do its job, but I'm not going to sit on the couch and cry about it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to board it up. I'm going to put a couch in front of it. I'm going to barricade it. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to let people just keep coming in because the lock and the door let me down. I know these men are letting you down. But ladies, this is what I'm here for. Stop believing words. Words with no action behind it are empty. I love you, girl. I'm going to be there for you, girl. I'm going to make you my wife one day, girl. Stop listening to words and changing your life. Grandma and mama, maybe they didn't have discernment. So maybe they just were in survival mode. I just need someone to pay my bills. I just need someone to get me out of my daddy's home because maybe my dad's molesting me, or maybe I'm in an abusive family life. So I just need a guy who's going to get me out. So dad, mama, and grandmama, they just picked whichever guy gave them attention. And guess what? They didn't know that man was an alcoholic. They didn't know that man had no ambition. They didn't know that man was just as abusive, if not worse, than their daddy or the uncle or the brother or whoever was touching them. They didn't know that this man did not care whether or not she was, hurting or, in pain, or he's just going to basically, well, I don't want to use that word and get flagged. He's just going to take it whenever he wants it because he sees her as a piece of meat. Thank you, Tay. So grandma and mom, they just got with whoever. And then they, meaning well, said, oh God, I don't want this for you. So they said, ladies, you daughter, you go out and you just focus on other stuff. You focus on your career. You protect yourself. You do this. And then the pendulum swung too far, that's a whole nother topic. And then now you have a bunch of masculine women who can't get a good guy because they're so masculine. But the thing is that they're trying to protect you. They're trying to protect you. Why? Because the men that they look to for protection dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. Thank you, Darnell. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Each generation is trying to right the wrongs of their generation. Sometimes the pendulum swings too far and you just substituted one problem for a different problem. You got problems here, solution is in the center. I always use the pendulum example. Swing one way, too far. You underprotect yourself, you get taken advantage of. You overprotect yourself, there's no room for the good guy to come in. So ladies, it has fallen on our shoulders. If the men are not making the type of money needed to live, which men, I don't blame you, because of the feminist movement and all kind of other stuff. Now they knew they could raise the cost of living because of the two incomes. So I'm not blaming the men. But a lot of these men do not have a relationship with God. Therefore, they don't have the wisdom needed to accompany the logical minds that they have. You need spiritual intuition. You need spiritual guidance. You need wisdom. That's what the woman is blessed with, okay? That's why divine union. You got his logic, her intuition. Man, that is a powerhouse, right? So the women, this is my theory. I believe this is why the women are excelling right now. Because the women are going to the same schools. They go into the same programs. But a lot of these women are excelling. I'm not going to get into statistics because then people could argue statistics. But there are a lot of women who are going out, getting the bag, and doing well financially for themselves. They're buying homes. And then you see guys who are struggling to get out of their mom's house. I'm just saying, if the men are not stepping up in your particular life, you have to protect yourself. So don't just protect yourself as far as finances go. Protect yourself as far as physical. Stop buying the lie that the Matrix tells you that it's your freedom and your liberation. Who are you going to tell me what to do with my body? I'm nobody to tell you what to do with your body. But common sense says it is not in your best interest to have sex as a woman. It's not. You're the one with the womb. You're the one with the child who comes out of it. And even if a man could carry it, the way we're wired, we would not be able to handle the man taking the baby away from us. So let's just stop pretending like we're men. We're not men. And it's not even men. It's ungodly men. Let's stop trying to act like ungodly men, because there are a lot of godly men who do not let themselves be controlled by their urges. Okay? But the world teaches it's all about money, power, and sex. So women have gone after the money. They are striving to get the power. And they are all about the sex. I'm mixing my messages here, so, apologize for going all over there. This could be 3 lessons in one talking about that part. But the point of this message is about sex. Protect yourself, ladies. And the best protection is waiting to see what kind of a man he is. Is he in the second camp? Is he a guy who has his eye on a vision and he doesn't detour from that vision? And part of his vision is getting a wife. So guess what he's going to do? Just like he secures the bag, he's going to secure the wife. It does not take forever to recognize sunshine. When a man sees a good thing, he puts a ring on it. And this is not braggy, but my husband put a ring on it in 3 months of meeting me. 3 months. Why? Because we weren't laying up having sex every day. We were sitting in Starbucks talking about our goals. How many kids do you want? What are your values as a person? How were you raised? What kind of wife do you want to be? What kind of husband do you want to be? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? We both had a goal of getting married. And that's what we were about. There was no, oh my God, I don't want to ask him that. That could be embarrassing. No, that's what you talk about when you're both grown and you both have the same goals. You get to it. Then you have the fun later. Okay, I'm not saying we didn't have any fun. I mean, we hung out and did fun dates, but the majority of our dates were sitting in Starbucks, just connecting. And a year from getting engaged, walking down the aisle. There was no 15-year engagement. Okay? Our position is so powerful. And I encourage you to watch this video called Eve in Exile. It's an amazing documentary. I cannot say enough good things about it. I just watched it yesterday. Google it, because you can see it on the app, some Canon app or whatever. But it's such a good documentary. But at the end, he talked about this verse. And the verse was that said, man is the glory of God and woman is the glory of man. And I had seen that, right? But in my mind, it put me in a hierarchy state, because I don't mind submitting and I don't mind, playing my role or whatever. And so I was looking at that verse like hierarchy, and the way she broke it down blew me away. She said there's a Hebraic term, there's a Hebraic way of speaking. The Hebrews speak a certain way, right? And the Old Testament is written in Hebrew. It's called Eve in Exile. And so if you know anything about the tabernacle, God created the tabernacle with very strict orders, right? This is how you build it, the height, the width, the jewels, whatever. And within the tabernacle, there was the Holy of Holies. So the whole tabernacle was holy, but then there was a specific area called the Holy of Holies. And I hope I don't butcher it, but this is what she explained. She said, man is the glory of God. So he's representing the glory of God. But if the woman, so that's a concentration. If the woman is the glory of the man who is already the glory of God, it is a higher concentration of the glory. So the same way the Holy of Holies is an even more holy space, then the glory of the glory is even more of a glorious space. And this is not meaning to be a comparison saying women are better than men or something like that. It's meaning this whole idea that God's way is making women less than man is crap. I truly believe the more I study masculine and feminine energy, not just masculine and feminine, but divine masculine and divine feminine, which is why I postponed my course launch, because it was supposed to be April 28th. There was so much I kept reading. I said, no, I want these people to get their every bit of their money's worth. I'm still learning, so I'm packing more in my course every single day. But what I'm understanding about feminine energy, there is this, because feminine is about being, there is this awareness of intangibles, which is where wisdom comes from, and intuition. Masculine, and we both have masculine and feminine, so don't get it twisted, okay? But men tend to have more masculine, women tend to have more feminine. So feminine is easily penetrated, okay? It's more influenceable, okay? You see how this can go good or bad, right? That's why it's a pendulum. It's easily swayable. It goes with the flow, highly intuitive. It has wisdom, and it can be penetrated. And think about this. Holy Spirit penetrates. When God speaks, he speaks spiritually. He does not come on a loudspeaker and say, my son. There is not an actual tangible hand writing on the wall in 2022. So imagine feminine is more capable naturally, without trying, to receive this intuition. Why do you think we say a woman's intuition? Now you bring, and I'm giving my course away, I should shut up. But you take a man who is naturally logical, you still need the logic. You take a woman who is naturally spiritual, you put them together. Why do you think that the ruler of this world, the matrix leader, why do you think his biggest strategy is to keep these two divine beings apart? Because these people crack the code. These people have dominion. These people have authority. These people are generation changers. Okay? They break generational curses. So ladies, do not be in a rush to be intimate. You need to be waiting, watchful, and observant to see if this man has divine energy. Because a man with divine energy will protect you. He will physically protect you. He will protect your honor. He will protect your virtue. He will protect you from fear. He will be your covering. He will literally lay down his life for you if that's what is required, if it comes down to it. And these men you're fooling with out here won't even lay their member down for you. If you tell them I'm not ready, they can't even lay that guy down. So you think he's gonna lay his life down? He can't even sacrifice his orgasm. You think he's gonna sacrifice his life? Stay woke, people. I'm gonna close with this. It was so cute. I was like, I'm gonna do a 12-minute video because 12-minute videos are better for the algorithm on YouTube. It's probably been an hour. I don't know when I'm gonna just give up this dream. I'm gonna do cute little 6 to 8 minute videos, 12-minute videos. It's just not happening. It was really random. A cup just randomly just fell off the counter. That's really weird. There's no breeze in here. That's kind of creepy. Anyway, what was I saying? 'Cause I got distracted by the cup flying. Oh, touch Holy Spirit. Oh, this is what I was trying to say. Thank you, Tay Tay. You guys, I am creating a movement. I want us to be able to band together. I started dropping content last week that got me in trouble with Instagram for the first time. Well, it wasn't the first time, it was the second time, but I got in trouble in a long time. I'm so aware that these platforms are not belonging to content creators. And so I beg you, I cannot emphasize this enough. Please get on my email list. You can always get off my email list. It's not perpetuity. What is it? Perpetuity. Like, you can get off the email list, but please get on, because if God forbid they shut this down, I want to be able to get in touch with you guys and say, look, if anything, here's the Zoom link I'm on, or here's the new platform that hasn't come out yet. I do not want to be reliant on YouTube. I don't want to be reliant on Instagram. I don't want to be reliant on any other platform. If I have your email address, that is the best way we could stay connected. And this is what I want to do, okay? Because I've held off in the past talking about my big picture goal, but I'm going to share it with you guys right now, okay? Oh, great question. Just how do you get on? Thanks. That would be good to know, right? So in my YouTube videos, you can go to the description, and it'll be there by the time you guys watch this on the replay. If you are on Instagram, just click the link in my bio, and at the very top it says stay connected. Just fill it out. All you're asked is your gender and your name. Your gender, your name, and then it gives you drop downs like, what do you want to be notified? Do you want to know about my Bible study? Do you want to know about YouTube videos? Do you want to know about coaching sessions? Do you want to know about, webinars? You choose whatever you want. But this is my heart. I really want to get the people together, rally the people together who are genuinely seeking love, okay? My platform is not for people who are trying to learn the cheat code so they can get more booty. My platform is not the cheat code so that they can get the richest man. It's not about gold diggers. It's not about players. I want the people who genuinely want to break generational curses, build strong families, have relationships where you're not checking each other's phone because cheating is the last thing on your mind. I want to get us together because there are more of us than you realize. But when you are daily having to see this foolishness, you are tempted to think you're the only one out here. You are tempted to lose hope because you keep seeing craziness. If you see chicken heads, if you see gold diggers, if you see players and F-boys, you're going to think this is how all people are. And I told you this before. I promised my other group I would not open it. So I've kept my word. So that's staying shut. They have their private group, but we have had 4 marriages come out of it. They are still together years later. This was 7 years ago. Okay. 4 marriages came out of it just by having conversations. You see the same people, on a regular basis, and you start to be like, oh, I like how her mind works, or, oh, I like how his mind works. And you start to meet each other. Yes, you have how you think they're cute on the outside, but you got to get to know each other. So I'm in the process of putting this community together. I've held off for so long because I'm just going to be honest. I do so much, it's overwhelming. So it's like if I focus on one thing, I drop the ball here. If I focus on Instagram, I drop the ball on YouTube. If I drop the ball in coaching, it's a lot. So this is why I ask for people who are in the first wave, if you could help me by joining my Patreon. And I can't be any more transparent, okay? $5 a month is the minimum, but if you want to have the community access, I think it's like $10. But if I have multiple people, literally, if I have multiple people who are pledging their support every month, okay, my cost of living is very low. If I just have that covered, I can focus on just giving. That's it. But right now I have to focus so much on all these other things so that I could pay my bills, because obviously I still have to live. But what I want to do is just all day just give. I want to just give. So if you like what I'm doing and you want me to be exponential, consider doing $5 Patreon. Consider doing the $10 a month Patreon. We spend that like nothing, right? So if you want to do that, you can do that. If you want to do a one-time gift, you could do Cash App. It's Pay Yancy. Super easy. Pay Yancy is my Cash App. But I'm asking for people to come together, and this is the goal, okay? Eventually, when the community is rallied, we will be able to have in-person events, which are even more effective. We do it with my small group, and it's amazing. I love it. I'm actually meeting up with them when I go to Atlanta. It's a big group is in Atlanta. But you guys, you honestly have no idea the stuff that I want to do, okay? So you talk about, guys always say, where are the good girls? Where are the good guys? They're going to be in a concentrated area. So eventually, I'm going to be moving off of these platforms so that I can have full autonomy. On the other one, I'm looking at Kajabi right now. That's the best I've seen so far, but I'm in the interim right now. So if anyone wants to be on this first wave and get in, I thank you for the support. And I've had people who have been supporting me for like the last 2 years. Thank you to you. But that's my goal. I want to help people to understand how to avoid the pitfalls that so many of us in our 30s and 40s are now realizing. So I want to help that young generation coming up. Like my son is 17, almost 18. I'm teaching him this. I'm teaching him all the game now. So he's starting with a clean slate. He's still a virgin and he's handsome. He's like a cross between Kobe Bryant and Barack Obama. That's the best way I can describe it. He's handsome, athletically gifted, 6'4". He's got a beard already. Like I said, man, you got the whole world in front of you. And I want this next generation to be the wave. And so I want to teach the next generation, but I also want to help those who have already entered into 30s, 40s. Maybe you've already had your kids. Maybe you've already had a divorce. I still want there to be healing for that group and second chances of love. How beautiful if you find a man who maybe is divorced and he's recovered, and now you have the woman who's divorced and she's recovered, and now you guys can have their second wave together. But it's going to happen easier if we have a high concentration of everybody in one group. So like I said, the very first step is get on my email list so that I can at least contact you guys. And then when I roll it out, we can roll it out, like crazy. So anyway, that's enough. That's enough for today. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I really like when you comment because it's goes beyond me staring at a phone. I actually can connect with you. So when you hit that little emoji, that little heart emoji, it lets me know, okay, people are getting it. They're understanding, they're appreciating. It really, really helps. So give me a few minutes, maybe up to an hour to get this on YouTube, because it's a whole thing putting it on YouTube, but it will be there if you missed the beginning. I absolutely love you guys. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. I want everybody to live the abundant life that God intended for us to live. And until next time, please tell someone that you love them. Hopefully it's a parent. Just how much I love you.